Hello, the topic today is waste and environmental management and sustainable construction practices. The objectives of this topic are to discuss waste management on the job site and the subject of sustainable construction practices and techniques. So, therefore, setting the processes and the methods for waste management on the job site is the objective, one of the objectives. The second objective of this topic is the role of superintendent in managing a sustainable construction process. The third objective is sustainable design and construction. And the last objective is the LEED certification and the role that construction and job site play in the process. Introduction. Waste management is not new to the construction process. It is considered during the entire project from the estimate to the implementation and completion of the physical construction. So today's job site management is well aware of the problems of hazardous waste recognition, safety in handling, the regulation requirements, and the reduction and the control during the production process. So the project team has long understood the process uh, associated with waste, that is what causes it, the hazards it can uh, cause, and the potential impact to our environment. Okay, next is creating the job site environmental management plan. The idea of creating a waste management plan is a relatively new idea, and a quick survey of today's construction sites would find very few documented waste management plans in place. In the near future, waste management plans will be as common as the other types of uh, formal plans generated for the management of the project. A typical outline for a waste management plan may include the following. So this may include the waste management goals and planning. So in the waste management goals and planning, uh, waste will be controlled by the use of a detailed waste management plan. And in the goals and planning, the plan will set specific goals that are measurable, goals for recycling and salvage by weight of total waste anticipated on the goal on the project are set at some percentage, and then some of the goals for reducing the waste will be documented and passed on to the company as a whole. And also in the goals for other sustainable processes will be set for each different phase, system, or parts of the project. And the other section for the job site environmental management plan is the communication and the education plan. So the communication plan will include the internal communication and the communication with the specialty contractors, because some of the contractors which will be involved with the waste management, they will be the specialty contractors. In the education plan, it is also an internal as well as the education with the specialty contractors. So for example, it is important that the project team communicates the project goals. This is not a top-down process, but a collaborative process that includes the crafts of the to the chairman. This project will implement a continuous improvement plan for waste, environmental considerations, and sustainable education. Next is the evaluation plan. So the evaluation in plan will include the recycling operations, tracking, communication checklist, short form waste audits, full waste management audits, cost and material tracking, and then the final report. Some specific topics are also considered in the job site environmental management plan. These topics can be divided into the design phase, construction phase, and operations phase. So, for example, in the design phase, waste prevention in the design documents is important. Creating and suggesting the green alternatives should be done in the design phase. In the construction phase, waste prevention during the operations and waste due to theft should be stopped. Waste due to operations in the construction should be stopped. Also, the waste prevention during the purchasing, recycling and reuse of waste on site should be performed during the construction phase. Understanding local and state material recycling and salvage requirements. Storm water pollution prevention requirements are implemented in the construction phase. And create and suggest green alternates to the specified materials is performed. Understanding of the requirement for the documents needed for LEED and Green Globe certifications, for example, are also considered during the construction phase. In the operation phase, for example, in the operations and the maintenance, documents are produced for owners so that equipment can be operated as designed and is being maintained as specified by the manufacturer. So some new equipment has narrow operation limits, so to keep it at peak environmental performances. So let's look at some of the waste management in each of these design, construction, and operation phases. So waste management in the design phase. Contractors are often active in the design phase when involved in a design build, construction management at risk, and agency construction management contractual relationships. So this early involvement in the process provides the opportunity to help build realistic specifications for reducing waste in the construction process. So the designers are typically aware of the physical attributes of materials. However, they don't usually consider the waste generated by the use of materials in the construction process. The contractor is aware of the efficient use of the material and its waste in each application. This insight can help the designers choose the optimal material for each particular use. The specification needs to reflect what the owner is intending to accomplish concerning waste management. The specification should include requirements to achieve reduction of waste, such as requiring detailed waste management plans from the contractor and trade contractors on the job site. So the waste is generated is generated in a systematic process that can be scheduled. Begin making schedule requirements that will illustrate when and how waste will be generated. The schedule should be used to better understand waste generation and how best to recycle, reuse, or dispose of the different kinds of materials being used on the project. Next, consider the waste management in the construction process. So, in the waste management in the construction phase, first of all, we can consider the waste due to theft, and then we can consider the waste due to operations. So for the waste due to theft, many of the green materials used in the construction are expensive and not readily available, making them susceptible to job site theft. When implementing job site security systems, emphasis should be planned for the green materials. Theft and vandalism will create unanticipated waste that will cause extra costs and delays. So today's site surveillance is relatively inexpensive and effective using internet cameras and wireless technologies. Waste due to operations. This is the area in which contractors typically excel. They continually analyze their construction processes to decrease waste. A typical analysis of a project waste stream is shown in the next figure. So this figure shows the composition of the construction waste. So we can see that a construction process creates many different kinds of waste, including the plastics, organic compounds, lumber, gypsum board, glass, and paper in various proportions. Yeah, each different types of projects will produce different kinds of waste. So for example, the residential construction waste stream will be different from the commercial construction and the heavy civil construction waste stream. So once the project's waste stream or materials is identified, methods for recycling, disposal and handling can easily be developed. Should have documented procedures for waste reduction and provide records of the waste management on the project. So the storage practices should be reviewed for every project and should be pre-planned. So storage for specialty contractor material also needs to be considered in this plan. To help such plans, waste management, clear signage on waste bins yes, is one of the component. That means waste bins should provide some clear signage on the construction site. In the construction process, the waste management waste prevention during the purchasing is also quite important. So much waste prevention can happen during the purchasing process. So in this case, many types of things or questions one can ask. So for example, how is the material packaged? So packaging of the material will affect the generation of the waste. Is the packaging material a green material? Can the packaging material be used in other ways? And how is the material shipped? And is there a plan or a buyback program for returning pallets and containers and or excess materials? So most contractors and specialty contractors have never asked questions of their suppliers or of each other. That would help both reduce the waste stream and create a greener completed building. So today's material. Next we will consider the recycling and reuse of waste on site. I will continue this into the next video clip.